And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the top 4 rounds of the 2018 MLPC CCG Continentals at Ciderfest. I am, as always, Cursed Chords.
And I'm Hifrog.
And we hope you all are having a great morning or, a great day. I know we've got an international audience. As you can see, we are looking at the semifinal round of Bugle's Ambassador of Generosity deck versus Sundial's Ambassador of Loyalty deck. And that, of course, means that our other semifinal is going to be the two BRB players. So some people might be happy to know that we're not going to see any of that in the semis, at least. Although we will be guaranteed to have a BRB player in the finals.
Yeah, I'm really glad we're not seeing BRB Mirror because we've seen that before. We want something new. And this is definitely new. It's Bugle's Brew against the farming deck in core.
Indeed.
Unfortunately, the sound wasn't fixed. It was beyond something that can be fixed, so silent movie all over.
We're just going to have to be on tip-top form, as always.
Indeed.
And it's a real shame because I know these two players really enjoy this match, and it'll be unfortunate to not be able to hear their dialogue.
Yeah, last time we saw them on stream, that's exactly what happened. They had some dialogue and we would love to hear it.
So, we know that Bugle is running a very unique collection of cards in his deck. Very similar, actually, to the Sweetie Belle deck that he had made some time ago, except with Rarity instead. And yeah, the question is, how is that going to affect his matchup against farming?
Well, last time he couldn't do much against, like, he couldn't stop RD fast enough. Like, he was gaining some traction at the end, but it wasn't fast enough to outpace the farming. And Thunderline was a big issue for him last time. So we'll see how that goes today. Maybe we won't see Thunderline.
It is always possible. There's only so many of them out there. If Sundial is playing a more traditional farming role and not not being able to transition to aggro, then it's possible Bugle might be able to get something set up. I feel like his best bet probably is to score with Throne for the most part and somehow lock Ambassador of Loyalty out of winning face-offs.
That sounds fairly hard, like while he has Mimics and he can name Troublemakers on Mimics. That would work against orange farming, but here it's purple, so things like Zeroed Out can bring just Troublemakers face up without an issue. So, like, can't really lock RD out of the Troublemakers to fight.
And of course, a warm welcome to everyone who's in the chat. I see a few people who joined us for Swiss and opening playoff rounds yesterday. I know some of you were at the convention and recently probably got up after a pretty short night, so appreciate that too.
Okay, so the game started.
Righty, so Sundial's got a couple troublemakers to work with. That's, whoops. Well,
that's a
we
chrono
saw
trigger.
that chrono trigger, yeah. Bugle is at least starting with AT generation, so that works.
Okay, flipping Tron on Trixie. It doesn't make it.
And Farm starts off with a quick 2 points. Read the manual for more AT. And I think I saw us.
I see it underlined, or maybe 2.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the Storm King.
Storm King, and yeah, next turn he's going to have the AT for Thunder Lane, so he's probably just going to get it out there if he can.
Stick.
Yep.
And he flips his main.
So that takes Bugle up to 3 points. It should. 2 from the flip, 1 from the confront.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still, certainly the ball is in Bugle's court to try to establish some sort of, well, something really.
Yeah, because right now it's really unopposed. Like, he just farms those troublemakers. He puts the Thunder Lane down.
Okay, Cold Wave stops him from winning at least.
So now he can't really move that RD back. He'll have to pay. I think that's why he decided to move Thunder Lane instead.
Mm-hmm. Now, notably, Thunder Lane probably gets frightened next turn. Bugle just has a free stick face-off with it.
It'll be 6-on-5 against the farming deck, so... I wouldn't be so sure that in losing against Thunder Lane is something you don't want to have.
Yeah, but he's exhausted. So it's 6-on-0.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Okay, so Wrinkle in time. So Bugle has a pretty good hand, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah. Wrinkle's important.
I think there was also Cracking the Case.
Cracking the Case is also great. They're kind of similar to the way that BRB wants to play against Farm sometimes. If Bugle can deal with the troublemakers, either by cracking the case on them or playing Wrinkle to get to them when they flip, and eventually Sundial just runs out of stuff to farm, then it turns into kind of like an aggro matchup, and Bugle's deck is much better against that.
So I've just got the deck list for every deck. So, you call this deck like basically a revamp of Sweetie Belle deck? Do you know how this deck is called? Minnie Belle's big sister.
Good idea.
Because that Sweetie Belle deck was called Minnie Belle.
Indeed, yeah. So, okay. Scope first. Scoping played, Bugle's going to consider whether to wake up call it.
I think we kept calling it as a good idea in case he has Big Mac.
Huh? Apparently, Bugle decides to let it go. Yeah, Big Mac would be the major problem. Just one set of counters onto Rainbow Dash, and then suddenly she's much more assured in winning these face-offs.
So Bugle's list doesn't have a single friend. Not even one. Everything is either resource, event, or troublemaker. That's Catajack.
If he's seen the deck list, Sundial knows that Kajak is completely worthless in this matchup. So it makes sense.
And I think he knows it. So there's another Thunder Lane. I believe Bugle has another. Oh, okay, that works too. I think Bugle wins.
Yeah. Oh, there's a leap. Bugle does have the opportunity to wake up call that leap if he wants to.
He can also just cracking the case the Storm King.
That too.
But
although that, yeah,
the Thunder Lane will still get counters. So yeah. He could also wrinkle in time one of the flips.
That as well.
Quite a crazy face-off.
I think I'd be willing to wake up call this. Probably. Oh, they're still tied.
So it's... yeah, he decides to wrinkle. So the problem with Wake Up Call, what other events might he play? He runs Luna's Future, which is an event you probably want to cancel in a deck like this.
Good point, yeah.
Heroic Leap, I guess he didn't cancel it, so not really. Let me see what other events he might have. Read the Manual is a good one to cancel.
That's a good point, actually, yeah. Read the Manual is probably worth it. So Petite Sneeze on
Thunder Lane?
Yeah. Did Bugle discard for that?
I think he did.
Okay. Bugle takes his point, takes him to 4. So far, at least, he's holding out well, but he only has so many things to do.
Does it actually take him to 4? I think it should be 5 at this point.
Possibly 5, yeah. If you were paying attention.
I was distracted by deck lists, but...
Okay, read the manual. Yeah, Sundial needs to remember Wake Up Call. And this time, yeah, you're right. He is going to cancel it.
That's just 580 denied. Leaving Sundial without any ET. That's Squeezer. If he can get squeezed earlier, then Sundial can play Troublemaker. It'd be great for him.
So Sundial almost certainly knows that that is a Squizzard. There's basically no other Troublemakers that Bugle would play.
Yeah, I believe so, and he has an epic in his hand, so that Squizzard is not going to stay for long.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw Pipsqueak. Pipsqueak can help him to fight Storm King.
Right. So Sundial's going for the single problem face-off here. That's also a fine play. Gets him his Thunder Lane counters. Thunder Lane is also just as capable of fighting Squizzard on his own, so... Let me see here. We are at 6. Sundial's got to be winning this, right?
Yep.
So that takes him up to 4 then?
Yes, but he doesn't have purple anymore.
That's right.
And there's going to be Squeezer there. Second chance, interesting.
Yeah, his problem deck is very suited to basically stuff that Dash can confront on her own.
Okay, there's Squeezer.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, of course, that Thunder Lane can scoot over there before Troublemaker phase, and then still have 6 power to fight it.
I think I see another wake-up call. Oh no, it's Fashion Disaster. Yeah, that's not very useful here.
That's and it's going to work. Well, okay, now that Squizzard's going to stand for sure. And Bugle knows his Troublemakers aren't worth much. He needs to keep drawing essentially for his important events, his removal.
And he passes, I think. Or maybe not.
I think he should probably move his main,
That's
unless he wants to save his AT. Okay.
I mean, he can't confront second chance on his own, and he can't confront his own
That's a
problem.
good point. Yeah, okay.
So he needs the Storm King to be gone. What he would really love is to have blackmail on his side right now.
Indeed. That would be perfect. I imagine Sundial has to keep trying Storm King.
The thing is that Bugle has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. And moving to Storm King actually costs 2.
Yeah, but he's not going to get through Squizzard, and he can't play another Troublemaker, so I think he's pretty much locked into that.
Bugle is heavily drawing.
That's a cold wave. I see there. So.
Yep, I also saw Petit Sneeze. We still have cracking the case. I think that was a wake-up call as well.
Castle.
I saw a single barrel in Sundial's hand, so he can Canta Jack and get rid of most of those resources.
That's a good point. I forget that Jack targets resources too. So yeah, Bugle's just going to throw away his Troublemakers, throw away his resources, or his Fashion Disasters rather. He's going to shoot for hand completely events.
Oh, he has just enough AT for Counterjack.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to fight Storm King first.
Let's see, 11 power for dash. He is winning right now. We know Bugle has a number of answers.
He has only one AT though.
That'll be a crack then. Yep. Denying the points, if nothing else. Singing barrel to orange. And this will be. Yep.
So what will Bugle keep?
Well,
yeah,
throws
makes
away
sense.
the castles right away. Yeah.
So I would say him cracking the Troublemaker was advantageous to him anyway, because now he can force a single face-off and might get a blackmail.
Yep, good point. So that takes Sundial to 5?
Yep. I believe they should be tied right now on points.
Okay.
I see another is gonna work.
So yeah, Bugle can force that face-off. The question is whether he's going to win it or not.
He decides to banish Counterjack instead.
There you go. That works now. 6 on 5. Bugle goes to 6 on the confront.
Why are they flipping? He doesn't have enough power to confront concerning QT mark, does he?
Sorry, who?
They shouldn't have a single face-off because he doesn't have enough power to confront concerning QT mark, does he?
Oh, you're right. He doesn't. Yeah. That is a problem. And I think they just noticed that now.
That's why, like, I was thinking in my hand, like, you either banish Counterjack or force a single face-off, leaving her in play. Yeah, I think they decided to just go past it.
Okay. Face-off didn't happen. They just buried the top cards there.
Staff
gives, Staff gives Rarity enough power. It's Rainbow Dash who's only at 3.
Okay, moves to Squeezer.
So Squizzard says that main characters can't contribute power to face-offs, right?
Yep.
But he can still challenge it and hope that his flip's just good enough, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Might
just,
be what he's trying.
basically, his main character is 0 on that face-off. But other than that, it's just a regular face-off.
Bugle, I think,
Bugle
just passed and
passes?
took his point. Yeah. Takes him to 7.
Yep.
Looks like he is just going to go for it. Or...
Maybe has another down the lane.
Pipsqueak. Okay.
Pipsqueak works too.
And cutie mark for the fight. Should be 4 against 4 then.
I believe Pipsqueak has competitive too, so it's 6 against 4.
6 against 4.
He flips a stick.
Well, the Mysterious Disappearance trigger will get rid of Bugle's stick. At least.
He still wins the face-off though.
You move Dash home, don't you?
Yeah, like, why did he move Dash there in the first place? I thought that was because he wanted the target to move away.
Yeah. Now, granted, in order to... Well, no, yeah, he just fights Squizzard the normal way next turn. Yep.
I mean, in the meantime, while he's trying to deal with Squizzard and find some troublemakers, Bugle is continuing scoring points without
It
much
is true.
issue. And we saw one Catajack played and one flipped, so...
Bugle just keeps on the removal.
I see Bugle has a troublemaker in his hand.
Fashion Disaster, Party of One, both terrible. Wrinkle, that's not bad.
I mean, Patio 1 is not necessarily terrible. You can still remove some high targets by keeping his, like, zeroed out.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be expensive, but it gets you there.
Well, he discards it anyway.
He
Takes
has another one.
Yeah. To 8.
Yeah, I believe it's 8.
So yeah, right you are. Bugle is slowly getting there. If you can keep up a board state like this.
Barrel for purple, I believe.
Yes. Zeroed out is going to replace that Squizzard.
Mm-hmm. So, what he is looking for here? He has Chrysalis, Trixie, and Chrono Trigger as his options.
Not sure which is good. Takes the Trixie.
Trixie is 6 power after all.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with Chrono Trigger might just banish something that he really needs against Bugle.
Yeah, I think like his deck has probably got more useful stuff in it than Bugle's deck does at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So
to be fair, Bugle did draw a lot of useless stuff already, so... We can't hear you, Bugle.
I really wish I could hear him, yeah. That's okay, so that first one was a Storm King. Second one I'm not sure on. Either way, he's setting himself up to fight in quick succession. Bugle draws another stick.
That's a nice draw here. Mimics.
Gives a Mimics out while he can.
A little bit too late though. I think Sundial anticipated it, that's why he played so many troublemakers.
Could be, yeah. Anyway, stick's gonna go on zeroed out. May as well.
Cleaning up. He would love to have cleaning up right now.
Wake up call. This time he probably is considering using that on a leap if one comes up.
Or scope.
Or scope.
Sundial can't play scope at the moment though.
Anyway, Bugle's going to take another point.
Up to 9.
I'm sure he is very happy at how this game's gone so far. but it will. It all kind of hangs on a knife's edge. We know Farm can score points pretty quick if you let it.
But Bugle still has resources to fight against. He has Wrinkle. I'm not sure what he's naming there.
Can't quite see it.
I mean, he just played a bunch of troublemakers. You might as well name events here.
Oh,
Throne.
Bugle flips the throne again. I know he wants that. Plays a Wrinkle to get rid of the Chrono Trigger. And again, as is kind of the case for farming, Sundial just kind of has to keep playing to his outs here. He has to draw cards, you find troublemakers.
I think he has
Go
like
ahead.
3 scopes in his hands, so he can't do much with them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's purple. And that's Mysterious Disappearance, I believe.
Yep. He asks for the wake-up call first.
I think
Bugle's letting it go.
you cancel it. Even if he's targeting wake up call, it's better to cancel it. Unless you don't want to spend AT, which in this case he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because one way it's get banished and the other way it goes into your discard pile. I'm not sure if Bugle has a resource recursion in his deck. Other than cleaning up.
Yes, Sprite, it is white. Just white. Just white control.
I mean, there's something.
It's true. It's honestly barely even white. It's just the main.
It's mine and a bunch of resources and other things.
Resources and events and troublemakers, yeah.
We have a deck list, but it's not on Pony Hand. We have like in a deck form. There's not a single friend in the deck though. Another throne. Wow.
So yeah, Bugle's now flipped all of his thrones.
And Mysterious Disappearance flipped. Wow. He would love to have that throne. No more sticks.
I'm sure he's thinking about how soon until he draws another one.
Okay, that's a Thunderline. So did he win against Trixie?
I'm imagining probably, yeah, clearly not.
Okay, yeah, I was confused by RD being not at home.
Okay. So yeah, he's gonna go to Mimics. Try his luck there. Yeah. If you're Sundial, you're basically just going in the hopes that Bugle runs out of answers at some point. You know,
Meanwhile, Bugle is at 10 points as far as I'm aware.
Indeed, yeah.
And Sundial is at 5. And all the problems in the Bugle's problem decks are confrontable by him, I believe. Except Blackmail.
Yeah. And Blackmail is worse.
Oh no, some of them are confrontable by stick only, and he doesn't have sticks anymore.
See. So it is still Bugle's turn. He's just going to take his point, 211.
So if Sundial manages to replace that problem, and it's not something like concerning QT mark, Bugle is in a bit of a trouble. Ooh,
Yeah, could
Big
be.
Mac.
So that helps him out. Bugle's looking over a cracking the case and a cold wave. He's probably going to play one of them.
Well, Cold Wave basically wins the face-off here. Cracking, not so much. I don't think he wants the cracking for the reason I just said. He doesn't want his problem to be replaced.
He's just going to let it go through.
Not sure. Yes, Sprite, that deck doesn't run sticks. Their defarming deck doesn't run them.
Yep, he's just going to let it go through.
Mostly because I think it's the reason because the owner doesn't have any sticks.
Thunderlane goes over there. Another count. He chooses to give the counters to Rainbow Dash. Sure. No, I see. One to Thunderlane, one to Rainbow Dash. That works. Takes him to, let me see here. Is that 5, 6, 10 total? I can't see what Bugle flipped. Oh, it was speech. Okay. Alrighty, so that one was a win for Bugle. They are going to have, this time they're going to have a face-off for QT Mark, yes. Or at least, at the moment they are. That Mimics clearly wasn't naming troublemakers because he just played 1 for 1. Must
Probably
be events,
yeah. Just name friends. Easy win.
Sundial is not going to take the single face off. And just going to pass there. So winning that Mimics got Sundial up to, what, 5 or 6?
6, I believe.
6, okay. 6 against 11.
So Sundial decided to not go for a single face-off, and I have the stream broken, so I'll have to fix that.
Okay. Well,
Be the radio man.
Yep. Bugle's just kind of thinking over his cards at the moment. He's going to go to 12 for sure this turn. That Troublemaker, we know that's a Vicious Vengeance, but of course he doesn't know that. He can start to look through discard piles and such to figure out what it might be, though. And perhaps he's got one on his mind.
Okay, we're back.
Okay. Draws and finds a Squizzard. And a Castle of Friendship, which I believe that means we are starting to cycle into his flip cards. So he knows that his thrones are going to be coming at some point.
Yeah, Throne can actually win him the game if he finds it soon enough, because Sundial just might not catch up soon enough to the Throne and confront every turn.
Indeed.
There is a Troublemaker there, though, but I believe Bugle has... He just played one cracking the case, right?
Yes.
And he has cleaning up in his hand, so he can recurse some of his events.
Yep, actually, this is looking pretty good for Bugle here. Although, notably, if he draws and draws and draws, eventually he runs out of cards to flip, and then Sundial starts winning the face-offs.
That's a stick that was flipped earlier.
Mm-hmm. Probably doesn't want to use that.
Maybe not. I think that's join the herd. Oh no, it's something. It's gonna work, I believe. Then can't see because
No,
of the glare.
it was a petite sneeze. He's discarding to it right now. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, getting rid of that Chandra lane.
Mm-hmm. He still has one of those in his deck, or hand rather. So he's just been using his removal very effectively to deal with all the threats Sandal can put out.
With stick, he might actually fight Sundial's Troublemaker on his own.
Perhaps he's thinking about that.
And he has joined the herd in hand to give him more power to his main.
Mm-hmm. Knowing as we do that that's Chrysalis, he's going to have to wait a couple turns to do it. But I think that's probably more likely right now, that Bugle's thinking about drawing into his thrones and just winning with them.
He just passes. He needs only 3 points to win, after all.
Yeah.
And Sundials is still at 6, so it will take a bit of time for him to catch up.
Mm-hmm. Troublemaker phase is going to be
He needs to
Chrysalis
uncover
flipping
that
first.
Troublemaker. Yep.
And now he really needs to beat Trixie here. He does have 8 power to Trixie's 6.
Cleaning
so even
up.
the Wrinkle isn't going to win the face-off. There's a Cold Wave, I think.
Where?
I thought I saw one in his hand. But again, Bugle is ahead. He can kind of afford to let that go through.
He can't confront problems anymore though. But I believe he's getting the throne soon. It's probably his next card or something. Barrel for more purple. I believe he plays zeroed out.
Should be.
Or Luminous Fisher works too. Yeah, it's probably gonna be Luminous Fisher.
I don't know. Do you not save that until for the thrones that Bugle's going to get at some point?
Not sure. Maybe Sundial doesn't realize that we're this deep into his deck already. He's
Possibly.
scoping.
So presumably, there's going to be a Troublemaker coming out here soon. Oh, right. There's a whole bunch queued up at that problem. That's a good point to make.
Yeah.
Now there are 4 Troublemakers queued up at that problem.
If only Bugle had a Remaspi.
Yep.
That's the throne.
But yeah. So he's definitely going to play that.
I think Sundial is at 9 at the moment.
He will have confronted this turn, so yeah, that makes sense. So, if you're Bugle here, I think you have to play that throne.
Well,
and
Sundial just wasted all of his resource removal.
yeah.
And I lost the stream.
Oh, okay. He's laying some cards down at the moment. And, well, presumably one's to discard, a couple are to play. But I'm pretty sure you have to play throne. You have to assume, even if Sundial removes it right away, whatever, you'll draw another one soon. He cracks.
Yeah, we can see everything
Vengeance.
now. And he's back
Oh,
to
he's-
confronting and the throne.
He's confronting and throne. Sure. Do them both. Why not?
He's going to draw into his second round soon, so even if Sundial banishes it, he might still have enough points because he'll go up to 13 as far as my records go. And the throne gives him one more to 14. And next turn he confronts.
Yep. So yeah, Sundial needs to deal with both if he can. Essentially, that would be resource removal and another zeroed out if he can find one. He has a big stock of troublemakers to try to figure out which order they're going to flip in.
Yeah, there's a lot of troublemakers there.
See?
Trixie is good.
It's
She's 6 power and 2 points.
and it's so presuming that all of those are actually villains, and I know there were a few of them there. Then that's enough to get I think there are enough points stacked at that problem for him to win, if he can get through them all.
Yeah, but the question is, will he have enough time to do that?
Mm-hmm.
So, as far as I'm concerned, currently he's winning.
I believe so. He's at 8-14 against 6, and yeah, there are no card. I don't know exactly what Throne's value is, but
It's 4.
even yeah. So Sundial definitely is winning this face-off. Cold Wave means he's losing, and Sundial concedes.
Interesting game. It was really thrilling.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were talking off the start about how Bugle is going to be able to win it, and it kind of just came down to removing all of the friends whenever they hit the field and managing his answers to the troublemakers, and meanwhile just being able to confront.
Okay, so I believe we're going up for a match 2.
Should be round, or rather, game 2 of this match. This just in, BRB won the other one, or at least is going to.
How do we know that?
Well, it's...
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's BRB versus BRB.
Yeah.
Some BRB gotta win. But what if they tie?
I'm pretty sure ties aren't allowed. Let me see here.
I
I'm
mean,
not actually sure what the rules are. Well, okay, so
well,
ties
big
can only happen due to time, yeah. So
yeah, but here we have hard time on 5 minutes, and then it's sudden death, so no ties.
yeah.
And I don't think it's as possible to get a draw within the game.
Yeah, it's ties can only happen due to time, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think it's theoretically possible if the players try to do it that they can end up in a situation where no one can score any points. Like if everyone is banishing stuff and eventually both players are out of a deck and the problems are too high for their mains to confront, then I think that's
Oh, yeah,
possible.
yeah, that's fair.
But I don't think it's almost impossible for that to happen if the players are actually trying to win. So anyway, for game two, Sundial is going to want to basically he wants to be able to get going before Bugle can find enough answers. Essentially, he has to play this aggressively. It is worth pointing out that at some period last night, I don't know if it was in Discord, I can't remember, or on Reddit, Bugle did predict that Sundial's deck was going to win Continentals. So, to some extent, he kind of wins both ways, even if he wins or loses. Both players opting to mulligan. As we all know, Bugle's deck does have a lot of cards that aren't particularly useful in this match. So he's looking for his events.
That's when all the MTG players screaming sideboard.
Yeah. And I think in Sundial's case, he also needs to, if possible, be a little bit more discriminating with his resource removal. I Bugle didn't actually score any throne points that game, but that gave him some inevitability.
I mean, since he didn't actually see any use of the throne, I think he'll still be using his resource removal quite heavily on sticks and other things.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knew that Bugle has throne in his deck for sure. Alright, I need to reset the score. Thank you.
Bugle did find an opening Squizzard. That is going to be very useful for him.
Did he choose orange on his training traditions?
I think so.
Interesting.
Well, queues up one Troublemaker to dash his problem, one to the other.
Oof, I'm getting some heavy lags.
Yeah, I was as well.
Okay,
Looks like we're good though.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's still laggy. Is it on your end as well?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Trixie and Starlight.
Mm-hmm.
Someone took Starlight away.
Okay, now I actually did drop it.
That was a good flip from Bugle. He doesn't need that card, but he likes to have it on top of his deck.
For what it's worth, I restarted my stream. The sound right now is almost good enough to be worth putting in, I think.
Okay, let's see. And the way I unlock the sound, the stream goes down for me.
Oh.
I played with the fire. I will restart it real quick.
Yeah. Like I can, for the most part, hear what they're talking about, and it's more clean audio than it is skips. So anyway, Sundial did beat Trixie by looks of it. Moved over to Glimmer.
Yeah, it's still very laggy, but you can make something out of it, I suppose.
Let's see. How much HT do you have? You have 4. You have spent 2 to move and 2 for 2 trollmakers, right? So this is turn 4. Right? So I got 2, 2.
Are they rewinding something?
You're right. Did wrong way.
I think so.
Okay. Thank you. I'm gonna pay 1 to draw. Yeah.
I'll ask the people in chat, do we want to keep sound this way? Or I can make it silent again if that's too annoying to hear. I can also make it quieter.
Yeah.
I want to move. I want to. I only have 2 HP. I don't think you can move a stick.
Spyry says that it's a little bit annoying.
Okay, fair enough.
Pretty low. So we're going
Mm-hmm. So Bugle's gonna take a confront point. That takes him to, that's his first one this game, I think.
I think so. He didn't flip his main yet, so...
Oh, there you go. Okay, so yeah, he should have 3 then, if he flipped, which he did.
No, I broke the stream.
one more.
Playing the sound breaks the stream.
Okay, well you can turn it off then. I'll keep it for the context.
Judge. I can't.
Yeah, you can just tell us what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. There is a judge call now about the chrono trigger. I believe some sort of thing happened.
What happened with Chrono Trigger?
I don't know. It seems like there's like someone drew or something maybe.
Well, technically, since the deck is random, it doesn't really matter what you do first, draw or banish 2 cards. Because it's still 3 random cards. Yeah, Fairy, I know you have to banish first. But since the deck is
Yes.
random, you have equal chance of drawing any card and banishing any card. So the order here doesn't really matter.
It shouldn't.
So while it technically does matter gameplay-wise, like for this game, it changes absolutely nothing.
Okay, so that does sound like that is exactly what they're talking about, ordering and such. Okay, so they're going to let it go through.
Ooh, it's Thunder Lane.
Thunderlane and the Luna's Future as well was
Yeah.
a card that Bugle insisted several times he's very happy to see get banished.
Well, on the other side, he got It's Gonna Work, so that's the card that removes Thunder Lane.
Mm-hmm.
And he flips Fashion Disaster. That's not a good flip, it's free, but it's not a card he really needs in his hand either, so nice to see that gone. I believe Sundial should be up to 4 now. Is stream working for you?
No.
Okay. It's good when...
Uh,
And now it works again. Okay, that's another Troublemaker down.
mm-hmm.
And stream is lagging for me again.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I suppose the connection quality there isn't very good.
Apparently. So that Catajack got played, right? Okay, yeah. So this is a face-off over concerning Cutie Mark.
Looks like he's winning.
Okay. I think my stream actually just copped out, then I'm going to restart it.
Yeah, they're replacing problem on my side now. Oh, he gets searching high and low. I believe that brings Sundial up to 6.
How are we doing this game in terms of who's ahead?
I think Bugle is at 3 points and Sundial is at 6.
Okay, that's much better news for him this turn. Or this game, then, rather.
But there's the throne.
That planes that's sitting at Sundial's home, is that just a spare AT?
I have stream frozen for me again. I'll restart 2 for a good measure.
Sure. So Bugle played a cracking the case to get rid of Trixie. Chrono Trigger got flipped. Okay, that was just a spare T sitting around.
Okay, we're back online.
And Sundial's going to go for the confront on Train Traditions.
Which should bring him up to 7, but I kinda lost track because of all this freezes.
So yeah, there was a crack in the case, so I don't think he got any points from that face-off. So I believe it takes him to 7. Yes. Now, yeah, if you're Bugle, do you start scoring with Throne here?
So you see, since Sundial doesn't have any troublemakers to fight, you probably score from Throne, then just move your main and score from Searching High and Low.
And indeed, that's what he does.
Or you can do a face-off on Trading Traditions to remove that orange. I don't think that matters as much anymore, but still.
Yes. Did you take the point from Throne?
Yeah, Bugle should be at 4 now.
Excellent.
See, it's gonna work in his hand. I think that shiny card it's gonna work.
Well, if it is, then you probably play it.
He's thinking about it, I think.
There
Yep,
it
that's
is, yeah.
gonna work. But he gets back Squeezer.
Plays it for the Squizzard. Okay, that's fine. Did quickly hear from Cheese that it is 57 minutes remaining in round. So that is time for this match and the game 3 if there needs to be one.
So BRB is currently 7-7 in game 2. According to latest news reports. So I would like to see BRB against Bugle on stream, because I think we saw Sundial against BRB before.
Sundial plays another Captain Jack just to get rid of the stick. And point scores to 9.
To 9?
Well, he confronted last turn, didn't he?
Yeah, I think... Okay, I'll just... Yeah. I mean, he was at 7 after that confront, I believe.
8 will do then. That's fine.
You know, we can just ask someone from the floor what's their current score, because it's really hard to keep track.
Yep, Bugle's going to score again. He scored twice that turn because his throne is exhausted, so 6?
Yeah, should be 6 according to my records.
So this game might turn into a bit of a race. Sundial needs to find himself another troublemaker to fight by the looks of it.
Or banish that throne. Does Sundial have any entry? Because I haven't seen any. Oh yeah, I see Singing Barrel in his hand right now, and he's playing it.
Barrel, that's going to be the purple. That's going to be a zeroed out, probably.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know which. You probably want to save your vicious vengeances. Oh, I see. He's going to put it over there. Well, that works.
Bugle still has stick in his hand and throne, so he can just confront trading traditions.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He does mysterious disappearance.
Discarding Catajack. Okay, confronts for a point and passes.
Okay, to 9 now. All right. So that, as you say, since Bugle does have a throne in hand, that effectively delays one of his points. And of course, with Vicious Vengeance over there, he's not going to score from confronting this round either. That is a wake-up call, I believe he just drew.
Getting another throne and wake up call can help him a lot, especially since Sundial has used all of his Catajacks.
Mm-hmm. So, stick, as you said.
And
Stick and wake-up call, yeah.
He had to play stick to play wake up call.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really interesting that his deck resolves around stick so much. Like, most of the things he can do because of stick.
Basically, yeah.
So Sprite Pawn zeroed out puts Troublemaker into play phase up. It's not the same as playing it. Playing a Troublemaker is a main phase action that costs 1 AC. That's what all that playing is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Sundial's going to try to process read the manual.
He might cancel that.
As you say, yeah. That's denying AT effectively. But he has to watch for any resource removal on that stick.
Mm-hmm. He's also really behind on points now. Okay, he lets that through. Okay, Pipsqueak.
3 for a Pipsqueak. Yep. So he is going to cutie mark that probably and try to fight. Takes him up to 3, 4, 5 lots basically.
Flips Heroic Clip. Cleaning up.
Yeah, I believe he said he was 11 or some such. And he's going to win?
Yep. Which brings him to 11.
Mm-hmm.
And we will have a single face-off now.
There should be a face-off here as well, yeah?
Oh, it's double face-off even.
Oh, it is true. Should be to 13. And the win takes him to 14.
And another clean up. Oof. Ready
We're
to
almost at the point here. It's worth pointing out that Sundial's home limit is 3 because Rarity is flipped, but unfortunately he still only has 3 friends.
Yeah. Bugle still has Patio 1 though. He could use that choosing zeroed out. But the problem is he can confront his own problem with that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fairy cards. Everyone knows everyone plays Cat Jack just for the effect, not for Diligent.
Missed the Diligent. Diligent is defined optional now, right? Or is it defined mandatory?
I'm pretty sure it's optional. Let me check.
Either way, it doesn't matter now.
Yeah, it's a May.
Okay.
Okay, I think he just should go all in to confront that problem.
It looks like that's not what he's doing. RD is definitely exhausted, so...
Maybe he's not at 14 points.
That would be a possibility.
Okay, let's see how this goes.
Either way, he definitely has the advantage, the way things have been going. 14 or thereabouts.
Playing a Troublemaker is kinda risky though, because Bugle has many ways to keep him off Troublemakers. So if he's actually at 14 points and finds himself in a situation where he can't confront and he can't win Troublemakers, Bugle just might have enough time to catch up.
That is a possibility.
It's a stretch, but it can happen.
So on Bugle's turn, well, he is going to have to he can use the stick on Zeroed Out if he wants to. Otherwise, he really has to just kind of prep for this Troublemaker face-off and make sure that Sundial doesn't just win it. Bugle is going to take a point. He does need to do that.
Okay, that's Trixie. Always happy to see that one. Ooh, it's Cold Wave.
Okay.
And he has +2 power because of Ready to Fight.
Yep. So he's at 6-8. And what did Bugle flip?
Cold Wave.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Cracks.
Oh, he flipped Cold Wave. Okay, cracks, yeah.
Barrel. For
Got
orange.
I think he's
going
going
to
to
play Big Mac.
He's going to play Big Mac and go for the DFO, I think.
So maybe he's actually at 13 points.
That's what we've been told, yeah. And that's game.
Well, this went way differently.
This time, Sundial was able to sort of establish his rhythm, beat up those troublemakers. Bugle didn't quite have the answers he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So Cheese just gave us on stream that we have 44 minutes left for the game 3 of this match.
So I believe... Here's my prediction. If Sundial wins, I believe Sundial will take top 1 and BRB will take top 2, and Bugle will take top 3, and BRB will take top 4. Here's my prediction.
Okay.
And if
And if
Bugle
Bugle
wins, we
wins?
just flip them.
We just flip them around. So you think that both of these decks will beat BRB, basically?
Well, you see, BRB resolves around removing friends a lot. It's basically remove all friends of the deck. And both of the decks are very well suited against that.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So to be fair, BRB does have tools against farming, so BRB might win. But it'd be more fun for not BRB to win. Sorry, BRB.
And speaking of BRB, update to our other match. BRB is ahead, but specifically it's George's deck ahead 11-8, already up one match. Looks to be closing in on the victory.
So I believe we're going to get the top 2 game on the stream, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay, so the game begins again.
Mm-hmm. And as we see, Bugle, he basically needs to be very discerning with his mulligans. He takes one look at that hand and says no.
You know what? We could really use a resource that gives Meticulous.
Yeah, that'd be kind of nice. Essentially be, well, that would kind of, depending on how it was costed, it might help out Ambassador Twilight a fair amount.
Mm-hmm.
Resource with Meticulous would probably be relatively cheap. If that's all it did. Well, Bugle sees a hand with a Castle of Friendship in it. Cold Wave. Looks a little bit better. Meanwhile, Sundial's just going to take his move. Pays 2 probably for 2 Troublemakers. Yep.
Trixie and Crown Trigger.
Sure.
Bugle is not happy about Chrono Trigger.
Tied, and that's going to be Sundial's win.
Looks like it. But that's two
Bugle
cards
is-
that Bugle doesn't really want to see ever.
Yeah, he is happy to flip those, that's for sure. But Sundial gets the point started.
Bugle can't really do before he main
Yeah,
flips
it's a
anything.
good point.
So
Yeah.
oh,
Two for zeroed out. Sure.
Did they get? Oh wait, no, never mind. Chrono Trigger just flipped.
Yes.
Game Bugle draws a card.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, as you say, he kind of just has to pass until his main flips.
He drew Fashion Disaster. So that was 3 Fashion Disasters.
In a row
Yeah.
in his deck. Apparently we call that a shuffle.
I mean, anything can happen. There is a chance that when you absolutely randomly shuffle your deck, it will be in perfect order.
Mm-hmm. He's going to draw, as he said. He's going to discard the Fashion Disaster, probably. Takes his 2 from the flip. Yep, Chrono Trigger happens first. Cat-Jack
Okay.
and Scope, Speech, and it's going to work. Both players lost something. Sundial is, of course, going to fight Storm King.
What if Chrono Trigger will pop here?
Chrono Trigger popping is always interesting.
I've never actually seen like that myself. Okay, that's Cold Wave.
Mm-hmm. That was a wrinkle.
Also, he defeated Crystal.
Yeah.
Not Chrysalis. Starlight.
Defeated Chrono Trigger, so 2 points to Bugle.
Cool.
I think Bugle well understands that basically he needs to score points as quick as he can. So using a wrinkle, especially when it banishes a troublemaker as well, it's good. RNGs, really?
Yeah. They have
I mean, it's
similar
true,
voices. It's really hard to tell them apart.
I can't really argue with you because I'm familiar with them too now, but I
Well, yeah.
suppose I can kind of see where you're coming from, yeah.
Okay, I got another stream lag. It's okay, we can restart it real quick.
Okay, so Bugle did just play a Troublemaker. I missed which one he played. On an open problem like this, especially with dash at Storm King, that's probably Mimics. Underlane gets flipped for Sundial. He is presumably winning. Well, with Leap, he's definitely winning. Although the fact that he plays it means he probably wasn't at first. Yes, he wouldn't have been winning actually, because party of one's a 5.
He cracks.
And Bugle is going to crack Storm King. Fair enough.
Plays in Thunderlane.
Yep. Throws in Thunderlane. He is still going to win the face-off.
But is Thunderlane involved?
If he comes in before the face-off officially ends, then yes.
I'm not so sure about that. I believe the rules say that involvement in the face-off, like, it's not a flag, so it's not just, so yeah, cards can be involved or not be involved. And the thing is, in Troublemaker face-offs, cards at the Troublemaker's problem are involved, but there is no Troublemaker anymore. So neither Dash or Thunderlane are involved.
But if neither Dash or Thunderlane are involved, then how does he win? Like, I know that if you crack a Troublemaker in the middle of a face-off with Applejack, she still gets her Diligent.
Does she? Okay, maybe I'm wrong here.
Well, that's certainly the way that it's been played. Anyway, Sundial scoots Thunderlane over to claim the single face-off with Rarity. Gets himself 2 points and more Diligent counters. Blackmail comes up for Bugle. It's a Squizzard over there. So Blackmail definitely is exactly the good... Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to agree with you.
I see. Yeah, so Blackmail is definitely a great problem for Bugle to have come up. Unfortunately, his Squizzard is looking pretty vulnerable with that Thunderlane on the field.
So, if the face-off is a Troublemaker face-off, the Troublemaker and the Challenger's characters at the Troublemaker's problem are involved in the face-off. But when Troublemaker is cracked, there's no more Troublemaker. So, I don't know. I would say that... But yeah, people are proving me otherwise, like in the Confor chat, so...
So I'd assume that on Bugle's turn, if he's got removal for Thunderlane, he'll play it. Otherwise... he's just going to draw. Finds himself a throne. That's good. So yeah. I imagine on this turn, Sundial is going to scoot Thunderlane over to fight Squizzard. That being defeating the front lines, he gets a double flip.
Yep.
And yeah, Bugle actually didn't have a way to not lose that one, so...
At least he can't confront that problem, so...
He
does have AT to just move everyone to blackmail, but... is that worth it?
Interesting question. 7 10. He doesn't need to move everyone to blackmail. Just Thunderlane and Dash will do it if he actually pays to move Thunderlane.
How Dash will do it? Oh, Thunderlane has counters, right? So yeah, that's definitely something to consider. I can't lose track of points though, again.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. Without sound, it's so hard.
Shouldn't get too distracted on some rules questions.
Yeah. Sundial pays to draw, though. And yeah, he's gonna move now, I think. Also zeroed out. Okay, no, he is just going to let. Okay, hang on a second. What is he planning here? Okay, join the herd purple. Okay, that's enough to get in Mysterious Disappearance. Gotcha. For the throne.
Fair enough.
But he is going to let Bugle have his blackmail point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that works. Yep. Gets to confront there as well.
Which brings him up to 7, I believe.
Well, that's our. We'll go with that. Oh, I see. We had a confirmation.
Yeah,
Fair
I was
enough.
said that Bigle's at 4 and Sundial is at 7, so.
The Bugle is still in a pretty favorable position.
Yeah, and
with
Sundial
regards to
doesn't
problems.
Sundial doesn't have any troublemakers to work with. So Bugle can just petit sneeze at Thunderlane, and confronting that blackmail is gonna be a big problem. And
Yeah,
confronting his own problem is also not quite easy. So Sundial are either at 6 or 7 now. Because we got the
it should be 7, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like 7.
There was a small conversation between Grandpa's and Cheese about it. If you go with the stick, which means he's not getting rid of Thunderlane with Petite Sneeze. Instead, he's going to frighten.
Zeroed
Zeroed
out,
out.
probably. That does deny Sundial from confronting blackmail, unless he unfrightens Zeroed out and moves Rainbow Dash.
Yeah.
He probably won't to do that because of the Troublemaker coming up and denying Bugle a point.
Yeah. Oh, okay, no. Bugle decided not to do the face-off. Like, Sundial can see the 2 Chrysalises in Bugle's discard, so that's probably not a Chrysalis, which means that he can probably fight it when it comes up.
Yeah, it's either Mimics or Squeezer. To be fair, you probably never play Chrysalis in this matchup anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sundial plays a troublemaker. Decides to draw a card. Seems like Bugle is going to get that point. And he indeed does. And that's Mimics. So the problem here for Bugle is that Sundial has a troublemaker there which he's going to fight, and he'll have a double flip during that face-off. And at the same time he can fight Mimics with his Thunder Lane. So Bugle will have to stop to hold off both of those face-offs. And with double flip it's not going to be as easy. He could still use Petit Sneeze on Thunder Lane.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello. Nothing really happened, only Mimics got uncovered and Bugle is thinking what he's going to do.
I see.
The problem
So
that
yeah,
he faces right now is that Sundial is going to fight both of the troublemakers next turn, and Bugle really wants to prevent both.
Indeed.
Okay, he goes
He
for
is going
Petit
to-
Sneeze.
Mm-hmm. That works.
Still has 2 ET left. Or 3 ET rather.
Mm-hmm. So that means Mimics is likely to stay up. And if Mimic stays up, then Blackmail gets to trigger, which is great.
Indeed. Bugle will slowly catch up then.
Mm-hmm. He's looking at Wrinkle, he's looking at Crack, he's looking at a variety of ways to stop this from happening. This face-off over at feeding the front lines.
And I have Stream frozen again. Is it fine on your end?
It's still goodish, yeah.
Okay, I will restart it. Damn it.
And I managed to hear Bugle calling events on the Mimics. Yes, mind the tongue, by the way. Second flip, Sundial, feeding the front lines. There you go. Still not the greatest flips for him.
Yeah, it's only 5 total. They flip again, it's the same
They were
flip.
tied. Still tied.
And
6
now
and
he's
4.
up by 2.
So Bugle is going to play a Wrinkle here, probably. Up by 2, he can, if he gets rid of the Vicious Vengeance out of that stack, that'll do it.
Yep. He decided to just crack Trixie.
Just crack Trixie, that works too.
That makes sense because it forces Sundial to play another troublemaker. Otherwise, he just fights Trixie next turn with double flips again.
Mm-hmm. He does choose to fight Mimics. Means he probably has something to do. Oh, okay, no. So yeah, your Sundial, you basically just need... Okay. He's in a real tough spot, because he's not going to confront anything.
Yep, 1 point
Bugle
for Bugle,
takes a blackmail point, yep.
which should bring him up to 6. 6 and 7.
Mm-hmm. How are we? If I can ask the con floor, how are we on time? They might get back to us at some point on that. Yeah, Bugle basically just now needs to sit back and think about how to protect that Mimics.
It's really unfortunate for Kim that he can't really confront problems. I mean, blackmail is great, but it's pretty much the same as the Rarity was sitting just there and confronting the problem. It's the same 1 point per turn.
Yep. He could try to draw for a throne.
Yeah, we've only seen 1 throne so far, out of 2 I think, or 3. I think it's 2. Yeah, he only runs 2 thrones.
Right. He is going to draw.
Wake up call.
Sure. I did see a Catajack in Sundial's hand. He's probably considering it now.
He doesn't have orange.
If he can get to orange, he'll play it with all those resources out.
That's a lot of AT.
Mm-hmm.
See Chrono Trigger? So I don't see a barrel in his hand. I saw Join the Herd, but that can be cancelled.
Yeah. Do you play Chrono Trigger here to replace Mimics? Well, he's going to fight Mimics anyway.
They're tied. Ooh, that's a Big Mac.
Okay. That puts him up by 1.
Big Mac is a really good flip here.
Mm-hmm. Bugle has just the wrinkle, I think. Okay. Sundial accepts that. I think he does play Chrono Trigger to blackmail, just so that even if he doesn't win next turn, he replaces Mimics anyway.
Mm-hmm. He'll just fight his own Chrono Trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Bugle does have cleaning ups in his hand, so he can recurse some of those events without much issue. Oh, I think it's Catajack going up.
Barrel will be to Catajack, yeah. Now, he plays it there. That is correct, I believe. Well, I guess, yeah, he plays it there because of the villain also. But the important thing also is that Catajack can confront defeating the front lines for him as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, one more point from Blackmail.
Mm-hmm.
Bugle gets another stick. I see it's gonna work in his hand. Yep, he's using it.
Which is definitely going to do it. Bugle passes.
Well, not wake up call. Cleaning up is at immediate speed, so he doesn't really have to play anything at the moment.
Mm-hmm. There's an interesting situation here because if Bugle defends Chrono Trigger,
that's a throw.
Yep.
So what do you want to say?
Well, yeah, if Bugle defends Chrono Trigger, then there's again a chance that she's actually going to go off. It's going 4 turns, sorry, 4 cards at a time, so it needs 5 triggers. Mm-hmm. That's true. Yep. He can move it for 3, since rarity is showy, don't forget that. Remember, pay 3 to move? I hope he paid 3. There you go. Oh.
Fairly
I hear
sure
you
you
just
can.
fine.
Yeah. I mean, you hear me through mumble, but on stream, fairly sure you should hear me on stream. Like, I can see my sound levels.
Okay, so
Okay.
Bugle's, yeah, Bugle is going to kill Glimmer, or defeat her, sorry. This is not a violent game.
Which brings him up to 10, I believe.
That sounds about right. Including the blackmail point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Bugle is now in a pretty good position, right?
Yeah, he's now at 10 on 7. And it doesn't seem like Sundial has any troublemakers to play. And it also doesn't seem like he's confronting any of the problems anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. And by the sounds of things, we're getting relatively deep into time control here as well. I don't know exactly how deep, but
Okay, let's read the manual. Yeah, Sundial does look hasty. He has Big Mac in his hand, so he probably can confront Luna Switch on the stick.
Yeah, do you just play Big Mac and move dash to feeding the front lines?
You can just play Big... Oh, Thunderlane works too.
Thunderlane works too, yep.
And he spent all of his 18.
Last 18 to draw. And confront. To 8.
To 8.
But you say you saw Big Mac had the cleaning up. I assume he's just going to recur. It's going to work then.
Yeah,
he drew Petite Sneeze as well. That's perfectly functional.
Yeah, I see Fashion Disaster in his hand. That's a good target for discarding. He doesn't need that card anyway.
I think he's thinking about playing the stick again. Draws instead.
Troublemaker.
That is... I'm not sure what that is, given this context.
Petite Sneeze. And passes the turn. Okay, so Sundial can definitely not score more than 1 point right now, so that still doesn't catch him up to Bugle. He does have Mysterious Disappearance in his hand though.
And he's clearly thinking about it. Although I'm not sure how much does the stick really matter.
Well, it's
drawing.
Yeah. Plays Chrysalis and some other Troublemaker.
Okay. I think the other Troublemaker was Glimmer. So he's going to uncover Chrysalis first, and then use Glimmer as uncovered to move Rainbow Dash back.
Yeah, that works. Squeezard appears 1 turn too late. I believe Bugle still scores a point from Black Man.
He should, yes. Takes him to 11.
So, even if Sundial defeats Chrysalis, that doesn't... Like, Bugle is still a hand on point.
Yes, that will be correct.
And Bugle just passes. And Bugle has a bit of answers in his hand. I saw Ring all the time. Ooh, it's the other way around. Makes sense because he wants those flips.
Yeah, okay. That works.
So it will be 7 on 7 with a double flip.
Bugle is gonna cleaning up. He's gonna crack Chrysalis. Okay.
Before the flips.
Before the face-off starts,
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay, he's covering his Rainbow Dash.
This will be Big Mac, yeah. And he'll confront this turn. Takes him up to 8.
8. I believe he's at 9.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Ooh, that's a nice
Ooh.
flip.
It does help. Eventually, like Dash is getting close. Well, it's going to take a few more flips, but eventually Dash is going to be able to confront blackmail on her own.
Would you put at least one counter on Big Mac here? Because that's definitely an option.
It is an option. I wonder if Sundial's assuming that Big Mac's just going to get removed right away.
Yeah, that's the risk you take if you do that, but the reward is that you can get a flip then you really need it.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe Bugle just draws cards now.
Yep. He knows what's still in his deck as far as answers go. I believe I just saw another sneeze come up. Yeah, which he'll play right away.
Makes sense. He has another cleaning up and another wrinkle.
Storm King. We know this is going to happen.
Yeah, he's cleaning up the case again.
Yep. Sundial needs to find himself another troublemaker.
Or another orange friend. Or blue friend. Blue friend works too.
He did find a Chrono Trigger. Notably that his deck is looking pretty thin by now.
Yeah. That actually might be the flipped Chrono Trigger. Because I believe the Chrono Trigger was flipped at some point.
Yeah. Some point relatively early on. Bugle
See
takes a point
Thunderlane?
from blackmail. If he can get that face off to go off, then he might be in an okay spot because he can flash in Thunderlane and then potentially beat Squizzard with it too. Thunderlane, of course, also gives him enough power to actually confront blackmail if
He can
He can
also
get some
confront
counters
his
on it.
own problem. Oh, that's cleaning up into cracking, and that's a good game.
that's game.
Very close.
Indeed. Very close.
So yeah, my prediction is that Bugle gonna win this.
We'll see. It is always such a pleasure to watch him play a hard control deck. Is what he's best at. But in any event, and I believe that was actually time going off just now. So there's probably going to be a small break for the players to recuperate a little bit before the finals. But we are going to be going into Mini Bell's big sister against BRB for the finals of Continentals.